Hi there Waltineers, I'm Jack and this is DSNY Newscast, and today we have two major breaking news stories. So let's just get straight into it. As first of all, Disney has just announced today that the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser experience is set to close, with its final voyage taking place from September 28th to the 30th of this year. Which means that this exclusive 2-day, 2-night experience has had one of the shortest lifespans of any Disney park project in history, with an operational period of only 17 months. And if you were to consider it to be a Disney hotel, as many did refer to it as a Star Wars hotel, then it would be the first time in Walt Disney World history that a Disney hotel has closed. But the writing was on the wall earlier this year as Disney began offering substantial discounts, and I really do mean substantial discounts, as in February they offered cast members up to 50% off, and then the discounts even extended to the consumers as well, with Disney Vacation Club members, annual pass holders, and even Disney Visa card members being offered discounts of up to 30% off on select voyages. Now, in all honesty, this doesn't come as any great surprise, as the pricing was always way too high in my opinion, making it unattractive and unobtainable for most casual fans to be able to justify experiencing it for that price tag. And personally, after the pricing was revealed in August of 2021, despite covering this project since its inception in 2017, I did lose all interest in covering it any further, as I knew that I couldn't justify that price tag personally, and so therefore if I couldn't experience it firsthand, then I wouldn't be able to provide a review here on this channel. But then on top of that, once the Starcruiser opened, there was a dramatic disparity between what was promised for years in the concept art renderings and what was actually delivered in the final product. And despite Imagineering's best efforts, this was definitely a project that fell victim to the previous CEO Bob Chapek's pattern of over-promising and under-delivering by scaling back and budget cutting the initial concept beyond all recognition. And what was left was a compromised final product that did not elicit the unique Star Wars aesthetic and did not deliver the level of live-action roleplay or character interactivity that many were expecting, instead leaving it more like a generic sci-fi experience. However, it's this combination of both the pricing and the perception hardening in people's minds that meant that even aggressive discounts could not save it. So what's next from here? And well, despite it closing in September, I don't think it's going to be like we're going to see the building demolished, or it's even the last we're going to hear about the Galactic Starcruiser experience, as the cost to build such an experience is so large that it would be a gigantic waste of money to get rid of a building altogether. But instead, the only way I can see them moving forward is to do a complete rethink on the experience, operations and format, and then bring it back with a hard reset and relaunch maybe next year in 2024. But what that could entail could range anywhere from keeping the voyage format but then introducing legacy characters and stories and having a more Disney Cruise Line adopted model where we could see different eras of Star Wars stories played out for specific voyages, which from a retrofit and revenue standpoint would be a relatively easy way to help lengthen the Starcruiser's lifespan and encourage repeat visitation at perhaps a lower price point. Although Disney is somewhat limited on the level of price reductions they can offer, as the small capacity of 100 cabins combined with paying the equity actors needed to bring the characters to life means that they can only afford to reduce the price so much. Or maybe a more drastic approach is in the cards, as it could be turned into a high-end boutique hotel with more conventional hotel pricing instead. But either way, just because the Starcruiser is going to be cancelled from September onwards, I don't think that this is going to be the last we're going to hear about it, as Disney will want to find a way to generate more revenue from this experience in the future and recoup some of the cost, and make more of a return on their investment. Then next up, in more big news from today, Disney Parks Experience and Products Chairman Josh D'Amaro announced via an email that's been sent to cast members that Disney has cancelled their plans for the Lake Nona, Florida business campus. And this is huge news, as for those unfamiliar with what the Lake Nona initiative was, this began in 2021 under previous CEO Bob Chapek, as they plan to build a $1 billion headquarters for the Disney Parks, Experiences and Consumer Products division in Lake Nona, Florida, which is just a few miles away from the Orlando International Airport. And critically, as part of this proposal, Disney was planning on moving 2,000 employees to this new Lake Nona HQ, with the majority of which currently living and working in California. And as you can see in these site plans, the HQ consisted of 6 office buildings, 2 flex spaces, and a total of 1.8 million square feet of space. But now, because this move has been cancelled, it also means that Disney will lose out on the $580 million tax break that was offered as part of the Lake Nona initiative. But make no mistake, as this is the clearest sign yet that Disney CEO Bob Iger is serious about his comments when it comes to further investment at Walt Disney World being in jeopardy as a result of the Reedy Creek situation and the hostile business environment levied by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. As after all, Disney is the state's largest single-site employer with 75,000 cast members and generates over $1 billion in direct tax revenue each year. So, this is just another step in Disney's response to the retaliation that they've felt from DeSantis and his allies for voicing opposition last year. As in addition to the cancellation of this new HQ, Disney last month filed a lawsuit against DeSantis and the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board for the punitive action taken towards the company, which impinges upon the First Amendment right to free speech under the US Constitution. But putting to one side all of that, this news of the cancellation of the Lake Nona HQ is obviously great news for those employees who now don't have to uproot their lives and their families to move all the way to the other side of the country from California to Florida. But it also comes a little bit too late for many employees who chose to leave the company rather than make the move. And the division, from what I can tell, was most affected was Imagineering, as Imagineering was expected to make the move from its historic location in Glendale, California, to this new Lake Nona campus. And as a result of that, many talented and creative Imagineers chose to leave instead of uprooting their families. So in many ways, the cancellation of the Lake Nona campus is bittersweet news. But now it's over to you, Waltineers. I would like to know, what are your thoughts and opinions about not just the cancellation of the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, but also the Lake Nona HQ as well. And if you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up, subscribe down below, check out the official Waltineer Club over on Patreon, and thank you to all of the patrons over there who help support this channel. And with all of that being said, I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.